What's going on, Jerome? So we're back. Take a look at another mock draft. Pro Football Focus, or analytics-driven mock draft. Now, it's PFF, and especially since it's analytics, all the wide receivers are going to go, and there's going to be a premium on quarterback. So it's all good. Our guy PFF Eric and PFF George put this thing together, and there's a lot of trades, and it's a lot of fun. So let's dive on in. Number one, Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. It's almost boring at this point. 2, let's get nuts. So the Panthers don't get Deshaun. They don't get Russell Wilson. So they trade all the way up to get their guy, Zach Wilson. The Jets apparently bluffing, but they're going to roll with Sam Darnold. Maybe they'll regret it, TBD. But Carolina Panthers get their guy, Zach Wilson. And I think it's a great spot for Zachy, where that arm, that ability to improvise in the Joe Brady system, plus those weapons, depending on what happens with Curtis Samuel. And if they hang on to McCaffrey, whew, let's go. Let's go. 3, so the Texans, they get their pick back. And so they trade Tua. They trade Deshaun for Tua, Xavier Howard, who's one of the best young cornerbacks in the game, and as well as a third, 3, 18, and future first rounder. Wow, that's quite a haul. But Miami, they're on the cusp. They almost made the playoffs last year, and Deshaun potentially puts them over the hump. Sure. But yeah, they don't hang on to Tua. More on that in a sec. But they get the number 3 overall pick. They take Justin Fields. They're going to rebuild from the ground up, rebuild around Justin Fields. I get it. I fully get it. David Culley and Justin Fields, mind meld and get together like that. So big time move for Nick Caserio's first year in charge with the Texans. 4, so the Falcons are watching all this like WTF, but they still take Jamar Chase, where if you're going to go with Matt Ryan for a year or two, get him as many weapons as possible. And Jamar Chase with whatever's left over of Julio, plus Calvin Ridley, it's pretty good. That is pretty damn good. 5, so the Bengals, I think they may have taken Jamar Chase if he was there, but he's not, so it's whatever. So Penei Sewell, no matter what, protecting Joe Burrow, makes sense. 6, the Eagles. So they miss out on quarterbacks. They don't take Trey Lance. They don't take Mac Jones. So Devonta Smith, he's wide receiver 2 off the board. They have a choice between him and Waddle. And I think Devonta, if you take out his frame, which he's shown that he can be durable in the big bad SEC, he's just a playmaker, man. He just is. So Devonta plus the long speed of Jalen Reagor for Jalen Hurts. Got a lot of weapons for them in Philly, trying to rebuild that offense. 7, so Lions, if they are in on Jared Goff, getting Jalen Waddle at this stage of the game, just really gross. Just really, really is. Plus, if they retain Babytron, if they extend him or put the franchise tag on him, Babytron and Waddle plus Quintez Cephas, let's go. 8, so the Jets trade down from 2 to 8. So taking Kyle Pitts, if you're going to build around Sam Darnold, get him as many weapons as possible. Pitts really would be an unfair mismatch nightmare. Can play inline, can play at the X, at the Z, at the Y, at the F, all the letters. And so you have Kyle Pitts as well as Denzel Mims. That's 2 really nice weapons. There's going to be a third. Spoiler. 9, so George Payton watches all this nonsense go down ahead of him, still gets Trey Lance. And Trey Lance, this is an awesome spot for him. So you got Pat Shurmur, who I think is going to work hand in glove with Trey Lance. He's really good with limiting a quarterback's downside, as well as if you have a quarterback with some movement skills, as we saw with Case Keenum 2017, he could really accentuate that. Plus, the weapons, like Garrett Bowles is a solid left tackle. If they fix that, the rest of the offensive line, then you have Noah Fant to tight end. You have Jerry Jeudy. You have Cortland Sutton coming back from injury. You got KJ Hamler, deep threat if he can stay healthy. That's a good spot for Trey Lance, man. Plus, Denver, not that far from Fargo. Maybe there's some regional fan carryover. Sure. 10. Cowboys, so they get their choice of cornerbacks. They don't go Surtain, so they eschew going Bama, but Caleb Farley's got that man. Oh, Caleb Farley's such a damn good player, man. So they check that box off the needs. 11, so the Giants, a lot of mocks have had the Giants either taken a wide receiver, even though the top 3 are off the board, as well as Kyle Pitts off the board. Well, it's PFF, so of course all the wide receivers are off the board. But Kwity Paye, where they're going to lose Dalvin Tomlinson on the inside, they're going to lose Leonard Williams on the outside. So they need to replace that edge presence. So Kwity Paye, no matter what, clear edge 1 for me, getting that physical freak in that Giants front 7. Let's go. 12. So Washington trades up with the Niners. And in the simulation, the Niners roll with Jimmy Garoppolo for another year, which I don't buy. But Washington gives up Doesn't say what they give up, but they move up from 19 to 12, taking Mac Jones out of Bama. They want to get on the quarterback gold rush. Now, Mac Jones, that's a good spot for him in Washington. You got Scary Terry. You do have Antonio Gibson. Plus, they don't necessarily have to start Mac Jones right away. They do have Taylor Heineke in place. Scott Turner as well as Ron Rivera do like Taylor Heineke. That's why they gave him a small extension. So we'll see what happens in D.C. 13. So Chargers. Again, watching all this mess and they still get Darrisaw, okay, they're fully in. Play him at left tackle and just move on with life. 14. So the Vikings take Christian Barrymore. Now, I like Barrymore. You are betting on potential quite a bit, but you do have Micah Parsons on board, Greg Rousseau, Patrick Surtain, Christian Darrisaw. There's a lot of different ways the Vikings go here. Here's what George says. Contrary to popular belief, the analytics nerds are capable of learning new things. PFF Eric Eager has been known for his ability to convert the truth, and this switch up to interior defense matters is perhaps the one good thing to happen in 2020. PFF Eric Eager is a Vikings fan, by the way. It's important to note. It just so happens that his hometown Vikings, there you go, are able to benefit here at 14 and snag the only interior defender worth drafting anywhere near the first round. Barrymore earned a 91.5 pass rush grade in 2020, and his player comp from PFF Mike Renner is Gerald McCoy. Ooh, I will take peak Gerald McCoy. Let's get that. 15. So the Texans, back on the clock, they end up with 3 first-round picks. Spoiler. So they flip Tua from the Dolphins. They trade him to the Patriots, who missed out on all the quarterbacks. And Tua, of course, Nick Saban and Belichick go way back, so you can get the 4-1-1 on Tua. And then the Texans take Asante Samuel Jr., where they have a dire need at cornerback, but it's very interesting. So Asante goes as cornerback 2, ahead of J.C. Horn, ahead of Patrick Surtain. Really super interesting, but he does have size limitations, but he is a really tough player, and he really is in the mold of his pops. The Texans grab a junior cornerback and not Patrick Surtain II. It's kind of weird. 16, the Cardinals going to let go of Patrick Peterson, getting Surtain in the spot. Patrick for Patrick makes sense. 17, the Raiders. The Raiders have a lot of need at edge, but of course PFF. So wide receiver Rashad Bateman, welcome to the first round, baby. So they take him. The possession skills are really going to help out Derek Carr. And then you put that with the long speed of Henry Ruggs, and plus Darren Waller can do whatever the hell he wants. It's a nice trio of targets for the Raiders. 18, the Texans are back on the board. So they're picking up Azeez Ujulari, where they got their guy Justin Fields at the top. They got Asante Samuel, and now they're continuing to build on that defense. So Azeez helping to replace the edge presence that J.J. Watt signing with the Cardinals leaves behind. Also, him and Whitney Merciless, it's a nice duo. It's a nice duo going forward. 19, the Niners were able to trade down from 12 to 19, and they still get J.C. Horn. That's a hella good value, man. So J.C. Horn steps right in for Richard Sherman, get that thing done. I really like J.C. Horn. Stylistically, if you like Caleb Farley, J.C. Horn is 95 cents on the dollar of Caleb Farley. 20, so the Bears get Darrisaw. Sucks. I hate this. I hate it. They play him at right tackle. Ideally, just put him in at left tackle and get rid of Charles Leno or move Leno inside or whatever. But yeah, it sucks. They're talking about making a move for Russell Wilson. No. I don't care that his brother lives in Chicago. They invented Skype for a reason. 21. So the Colts don't go tackle. They certainly would have taken Darrisaw if he was there. But Trevor Moehrig, a little bit of a surprise pick, but Malik Hooker did not work out. And you have Moehrig as well as Julian Blackmon. All of a sudden, that becomes one of the best young safety duos in the league. It's really smart by Chris Ballard. 22, Titans, need edge. Rousseau, there, boom. 23, so you got the Jets, and they already took Kyle Pitts, and now they're getting Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore, Kyle Pitts, Denzel Mims, Sam Darnold. If you can't succeed now, MFer, it ain't going to happen. 24. So the Steelers. Okay, so the Steelers need help at linebacker, at edge, and offensive line, quarterback, although, where are you going to reach for Kyle Trask at this point? But they take another wide receiver. So Juju's going to leave in free agency. They're probably going to lose James Washington, potentially. Deontay Johnson has drop issues, and they hit pay dirt with Chase Claypool in the second round last year. So Tony, whoever the hell is going to be a quarterback, okay. Yeah, I get it. Plus, the Steelers are just damn good at drafting wide receivers. 25, Jaguars. So You got Trevor Lawrence, protect Trevor Lawrence, Elijah Tucker. Now, they could kick him out to left tackle, pending what happens inside with the guards, Norwell and McCann. But AVT, yeah, you know me. Go ahead. 26. Somehow, some way, Micah Parsons falls all the way down to the Browns at 26. It's a phenomenal pick, but it sort of annoys me. Maybe it's the bias against off-ball linebackers, but yeah, Parsons in this spot, I love it. 27. So the Ravens can trade Orlando Brown Jr., draft Tevin Jenkins, plop his ass down at right tackle, and Jenkins and Ronnie Stanley, really nice young tackle duo. 28. So the Saints could reach for quarterback, but they go Terrace Marshall Jr. in this spot where they might have to let go of Emmanuel Sanders to get underneath the cap. They might trade Michael Thomas. So getting a big-bodied outside the number receiver, of course, LSU New Orleans makes sense, built in right there. Plus, yeah, Terrace Marshall Jr. is good, man. So he was able to shine outside of Jamar Chase, who opted out, and Justin Jefferson, who's the best rookie wide receiver in NFL history. So he was able to shine a little bit on his own this year, showing what he can do. He is a first-round talent. 29, so the Packers, I hate this. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah falls down to them. And in a division where you have to face Irv Smith twice, TJ Hawkinson twice, and Cole Kmet twice, having a guy like Joke does make sense. 30. So the Bills are going to lose Matt Milano, and Jerry Hughes is aging out. They did pick up AJ Epinesa last year in the second round, but Jason Noe, freak. Absolute freak, and just put him wherever in that front seven of McDermott and Frazier's defense. Got ahead. 31, the Chiefs. So, yeah, O-line, except they are getting a lot of dudes back. Maybe they go edge to replace Passano. Maybe they go safety or cornerback. But Elijah Moore, just building a track team, man. So Elijah Moore and Tyreek Hill and Mecole Hardman. Gross. 32. Ooh, bit of a surprise. So the Bucs, you would think, well, normally they've been drafting defensive tackle or edge to replace Ndamukong Suh and Shaq Barrett respectively, but maybe they do hang on to Shaq Barrett. And Ardarius Washington, is it a little bit redundant with Antoine Winfield Jr. since stylistically they are really similar? Undersized safeties who are better in the box, sure, but Ardarius is a dude, man. I think this is the first mock I've seen him in the first round. I love his talent. I don't know if he goes first round, but we'll see there. Dudes who didn't make it. So Kyle Trask did not go, even though there's a couple teams towards the end of the first round who certainly needed quarterback. Najee Harris, Etienne, it's PFF, so no running backs are going to go. Freiermuth, no. All the wide receivers went. So cool. Offensive line, Leatherwood, Cosme, Mayfield, Dickinson, Davis, all still on board. Edge rushers, Joe Tryon, Boogie Basham, Jalen Phillips. Kind of surprised that Phillips didn't make it in the first round. Joseph Asai as well. And the rest of the defense, Anwuzurike, Nixon, Collins, Bolton, Newsome, Campbell, and Javon Holland, no go there. But yeah, the Vikings ended up with Barrymore at 14. I do like the rationales that, so the Vikings have need at defensive tackle. There's really only one first round defensive tackle, and if you can get him at 14, he hasn't even scraped his potential quite yet. So if he pans out and you get him at 14, it will end up looking like a steal in retrospect. But there's a lot of talent left on that board, man. But we'll see what happens. But your thoughts, PFF's analytics-driven mock draft, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.